There it is. Here's a good one. I like this one. This one people always want to know because people know that recruiters are often in a position to kind of pre-filter demo reels naturally as part of the job. And I guess their question here is to try to boil down in your mind, personally speaking, is there like some sort of metric that like, are there things and elements that help sort of get you to watch something beyond the 5-second mark? Like, is there, what is that bar?
Sure. So, this one also very subjective because I can tell you, I was staffing a movie, I don't know, 2009, I think it was, pardon me. And we had Disney execs in the room. We had 2 directors. We had a studio director. We had like 8 people watching reels and then marking them, out of 10 and marking performance and marking dynamics and across the room, there was no cohesive scores. It was all over the map, right? And I found that really funny. So I asked the executive producer, what do we do? Because basically I just got a dog's breakfast served here. I had 8 people all disagreeing. Well, I think the cherry should have been on the ice cream there. Well, I didn't even look at the ice cream. Well, I saw the character in the back dancing and that looked ridiculous, this sort of thing, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone sort of like, also was like, it was early and they were trying to claim turf. I'm better at reading reels than you are. Mm. So I asked the executive producer after the meeting, what do I do? And he said, give them 2 weeks, give them the same reels, but don't show them their scorecards, put them back in the room again. Now I want you to look at the data after that second meeting. Because he said 2 weeks from now, some of them will like each other and they won't be fighting. So again, very subjective. I guess my point is very subjective. Yeah. But here's the thing. I'll give you a few pointers. If music is not relevant to what you're doing, don't put any music on it, right? I can't tell you how many times I've seen a supervisor or an animation director or somebody just go on the volume, go, what the hell? Why were they thinking Tchaikovsky? What the, but they're actually pissed off now, right? Or like some thrash metal because somehow this is going to be good for this scene, right? And so, and I find people obsessed sometimes. Oh, I got to pick the right track for this. The right audio is going to be amazing, right? No. If it's
and meanwhile, no one's even listening with the volume on. They're just like watching it. Yeah.
Right. So it's just funny. Now, however, if you're trying to be a director and a composer, of course, then that's your demo reel, right? If there's some scene where this light music is lifting up the butterfly and that's critical for telling the story and you're a director, well, of course, the audio is very important, right? But if this is a modeling reel, a rigging reel, just turn the damn music off, right? No one's looking at that. They didn't come and figure out what. So that's my one pointer. The second one is always lead with the strongest piece, whatever it is, and if you can't figure it out, pick your top 2 and make the other one number 2. But basically, the elevator door is open. If there's crap in the elevator, the door is closed and someone walks away. If the elevator door is open, there's something really wow in there. You're going to hold the doors for a second to look at it, right? So basically, the most important thing is to lead with your absolutely best thing. And I'll tell you, there's a guy that did a million years ago, a modeling reel. And I remember it was a junky kind of like an old Ford Model T or Model A or something, in the early 1900s car or truck. But instead of doing the standard turntable, which everyone does on modeling reels, he animated this little clip where it falls from the sky and it hits the ground and everything, because it's an old jalopy, everything shook for a second and then the turntable started. And I'm like, oh man, that guy got me with that. It was like a 3-second drop. And I'm like, woo, right? Because I don't see that every day, right? And so, and like it was a simple trick and it probably didn't take him very long, but I was like, that was clever. That was sneaky, right? The guy got me, right? So, the other thing I can remember, demo reel a million years ago, 2 students made in college. And it was at Suda when we were there. And I was with Derek and we were looking at it and we were like, we almost fell out of the chair. It was so good. It didn't look like a student reel. How is it that all these student reels are coming in around the same sort of
and there's outliers every once in a while.
And one of them is like, we were stunned. And we were racing to the phone, like, oh my God, call these kids before.
Do you remember what it was specifically that right away, like how far into the reel that you were like, oh, this is different?
Yeah, they had taken a scene from Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
And they basically recreated it, including a tank busting through a brick wall. And then they'd mocapped a couple soldiers. They're a little crazy looking. It wasn't perfect mocap, but the scene was so well detailed, the surfacing, the set. And what it was 2 students worked on it together because they realized separately we're not going to produce a good demo reel. So one guy said, I'll do the animating, you do the modeling. And when they got tired, they would switch off. So they learned a ton building one demo reel together, and then they had a breakout sheet to show like so and so did this, I did that,
Right.
and here's the kicker too. When they send it in, they also send in a scrapbook
Oh, wow.
that looked like it was from World War II, and they had
Wow.
composited their heads into old photos
Wow.
of all the soldiers.
You're
We were just like, we were like, can we keep the scrapbook? And the one guy said, that cost like $75.
Limited
I'm
edition.
taking it. He's like, I'm out.
It's funny because I've often said that if you overpackage that demo had to be good. Otherwise, people have been like, well, you wasted all your time on the freaking packaging. You should have actually put some more time in the actual reel itself.
Yeah. But, you know, here, the kicker for us was, you know, are you guys just World War II fanatics? That was one of the questions.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Because I said, we're not doing any World War II stuff.
Yeah. Are you going to be interested in something else?
Yeah. And they were like, you know what? After producing that demo reel, we don't want to see Saving Private Ryan ever again.
There you go.
Like,
good answer.
We don't want to see any of this shit. And so the other thing was just, you know, how hard did you work to get the demo reel done?
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
You know,
yeah,
they said night and day for months.
Yeah.
And we said, well, look, you're in a studio. You're probably going to work harder. Are you up for it? And they were like, yeah, no, actually, the whole goal was to get into a studio.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were like, we're prepared to work hard, you know. And so it was just interesting because we were afraid that, you know, this is where we hit our swan song. This is our ode to the industry.
I like the idea of there being this sort of trying to think outside the box and have something fresh, like your example of a car falling down, because it's like something that probably, like you said, probably didn't take a lot more time, but something that is unexpected, that's going to catch especially a recruiter's attention because they know right away, they see so many in a day. It's like a breath of fresh air when something new shows up, and it's more likely that's going to get passed along to the supervisor probably.